Testing 1 2. What is it? The Spinal Tap? Test it. Was it check Mikey, check mic number 1? This is lots of fun. I can't remember. All right. So you want me to repeat the question? You sure you don't want to talk? You're shy. Okay. So, The Hot Place. Yes, album number 2. I guess, so the question is, what is different about album number 1 and album number 2? And there's a lot of, that's a multifaceted question, so I guess I'll just try to break this down into a few parts. I think the first thing that is different is probably the methodology of how the songs are coming into existence. The Language of Birds was kind of like a back catalog of some songs that I have been toting around for a while. Some of the songs, like track 3, Runaway Today, I think it's track 10, Two Steps Ahead. Those were songs that I wrote when I was around, I suppose, 14 in high school. And so those songs were written by a different me, a 14-year-old 1980 Lisa. And obviously my songwriting and my appreciation for different styles of music is really grown. And so album number 2 is really starting with Mike, Jeff, and I sitting in a room writing songs together. Yeah, we're actually writing these songs together in the room together, and somebody will come up with an idea or a riff or a part of a song, and then we build on top of it right there in real time, as opposed to somebody maybe presenting a finished song like a demo to the entire band with parts already in mind. For instance, on The Language of Birds, there were some new material. Nighttime Summerman was very much a collaborative piece of work. I think that's why that track really stands out on the album. Petals of Ruin, both the beginning and the end that open and close The Language of Birds, that song was written as a band. But let's say, a piece like, again, like Runaway Today, although you can present, with a song like that, I presented that song fully formed, and I even had ideas all the way down to what the guitar solos should sound like and what I wanted the drums to sound like, and I was very idealistic about it because I was representing an idea that really needed to be birthed and then, complete. Although certainly Jeff's guitar work on Runaway Today is very, very Jeff-like. Actually, it might be a Jeff Calder that you guys are not used to, because with the swimming pool cues, he plays a lot of rhythm guitar. But in The Hot Place, he is our lead guitar player, which is new for some people. I don't think a lot of people realize what an amazingly talented lead guitarist that Mr. Calder is. And also Mike Lynn, he's a very capable guitar player as well for leads and riffs. And on this new album, Jeff and Mike, it's really wonderful to watch them work together as a pair, a team of guitar players, because they're kind of trading off sometimes in a song who will play the lead, or who's more comfortable with what. They're starting to kind of feel each other out and automatically kind of know, oh, this is a Mike part, or this is a Jeff part, or let's switch this up. And it's really a cool thing to watch happen. And it makes the songwriting very easy, because there is a huge lack of ego. I think that once you are the age and the level of musicianship that we have, you do what's best for the song and not necessarily what's best for your ego. And so it's great. We all do the right thing to create and birth the song. And I think that, so that's a different, mentality. So all the material, I'd say 90% of the material on album number 2 will be written on the spot. You're asking, okay, yeah, playing multi-instrumental stuff, yeah. Well, on The Language of Birds, we recorded that at Southern Tracks Recording in Atlanta. And I took in a lot of demos that I had recorded at Nobic Wheel Studios, my own small project studio. And I played a lot of the instruments on The Language of Birds. Keyboards, percussion, bass, guitar. I would even tap out drum parts that Robert would very, very patiently adapt. And, you can have an idea of what you kind of want people to do, and they'll do it, but I'm always more comfortable when people change things just subtly to where it becomes their own, because to me it becomes much better. Like anything that I would have said, play toot-toot-tat, toot-toot-tat, play this or whatever, Robert would start with that, but, he, and as long as, of course, the feel and the tempo are consistent, but you want people to play, you want their personality to be there. Robert Schmid, our drummer, who is also the original drummer for the Swimming Pool Cues, and now he is the bass player for the Swimming Pool Cues. Having a drummer that's also a bass player is very helpful, because as of coming from a bass player's perspective, since I'm still the bass player here in the band. I think that there is an immediate empathy that a drummer has for a bass player if he is a bass player too. Also, to understand a sense of both melody and rhythm. I think that's a very important thing. But I think I strayed off of your original question. Currently, I guess we probably have about, we have some extra material kind of left over towards the end of The Language of Birds that was written more cohesively as a whole. But as far as the new material goes, we have about 5 really solid ideas, and we have the beginnings of several more ideas, things that we've kind of jammed out at the end of practices. I would say the songs are very diverse in style. They're very surprising. Some of the songs kind of came fully formed in the spur of the moment with arrangements. I notoriously pull out the black Sharpie on a big piece of poster board and write out arrangements. And so I guess a few things that we're really keeping in mind would be instrumentation, definitely arrangement. I think that the first album was about becoming a band. This album is about being and celebrating and being a band. And I think that's a wonderful place to be as a songwriter and as a musician. Writing vocals, yeah. Writing lyrics and vocals for me is kind of something done at the dead of midnight under a full moon in isolation. But it's very difficult to write lyrics and to write melodies with your band there in the room. But actually, right now, I've known Jeff and Mike for so long that I feel very comfortable singing. And the thing about when you're coming up with a melody, for me, often I don't have words right away, or I might have some words that fit. So there's a lot of mumbling and humming, and I tend to come up with backing vocal parts first. But of course, Jeff is a singer, and most people don't know this, but Mike is a very good singer as well. I think he has better pitch than everybody in the room. So I'm definitely going to, Mike, if you're listening to this, I'm going to be prodding you to do more singing. Um, um, but I do try to write with my bass in hand, but sometimes I will write a melody that will be very difficult to then play the bass and sing to. I spent a lot of my time after The Language of Birds was finished. We spent a year woodshedding before we played a few live shows, and part of that woodshedding was to. I'm a piano player, so I have independence with my left and right hand. I can think kind of independently, so I do have that sort of independent control, but playing bass and singing, it's still different. The left and right hand and the vocal, it's not quite as natural for me, but I'm becoming more and more comfortable as the role of the bass player in the band. So I think I will I'll be continuing to play bass, obviously, on this record. And the great thing is that these songs are being born live. Of course, sometimes I'll take our live recording and I will record vocal tracks on top of that when I'm getting some vocal ideas, kind of like sketching. But since these songs are being born live, they're going to be a real joy to play live. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The next shows that we play, probably this fall, will be a blend of the old material and the new material. Kickstarter. Don't say that word. Don't say orange vinyl around me. No, I'm just kidding. Kickstarter was a long and painful process, but now that it's over, looking back, a few things, it was very wonderful being supported directly by your fans. The fact that there's no middleman. It was a very technically challenging making vinyl in the period that I did. I think it'll be maybe less challenging because I know where the trouble spots are. I know the timeline now. And I am still interested in putting this material out on vinyl. And No Big Wheel Records is currently still working on projects with a band that I'm in with my friend DJ Gory, a band called the Von Vons. And at this point, we may or may not be releasing some material for World Goth Day coming up here, I think May 22nd. We have some ideas in mind, but we have a Von Vons record that we're working to finish up. And I have a two-part green and blue vinyl release that I'm working on for an Atlanta band, Ten Guzame. And I will put some links up so that you can give some of that stuff a listen. We do have a little No Big Wheel Records sampler that you can listen to, and so that is definitely not on the back burner. The Hot Places second album will be on No Big Wheel Records. As far as doing a Kickstarter campaign, I think that we are very much going to continue in the direction of crowdfunding, of pre-orders. I think that that's very, very cool. I think that's the way of the artist now. This album, I think we'll be able to go into a studio, and once we go in, we'll just kind of be able to stay there and to just kind of constantly keep doing these songs, about maybe 2 at a time. And I think that with that approach, hopefully we'll have a record, in under a year. And once we have it finished, then we'll figure out how we want to present that to the public and what sort of crowdfunding that we might want to do this time around. And more importantly, take a vote. I mean, what color is this 180 gram vinyl going to be this time? Had a lot of people saying they wanted blue or purple. I really love the Coke bottle green But it's way too soon. The songs are still in working titles, you know, so it'll be like, you know, Floydy bouncy thing in B, or, you know, they don't have, things are starting to have names, but they still have working titles. And as we go along this path, on this little adventure together, we shall see what the title becomes, what the color scheme, and what the, you know, name of the album will be. And hopefully there will be an entire band on the album cover, and not just my sunglassed booted mug on the cover. So hopefully you'll see all four of our smiling faces on the cover of album number 2, and hopefully it'll be within a year. Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks, DJ. Have a great afternoon.